will start with limitations of software architecture. If you consider any technology, it has both pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. Like that, software architecture also has some limitations because it is still an emerging discipline. Still, it is a young domain. Lots of research are going on this domain within software engineering, and it has the following limitations mainly. We are lacking with the tools and standardized ways to represent the architecture. Also, the lack of analysis methods to predict whether the architecture will result in an implementation that meets the requirements. In software industry, what happens based on the stakeholder requirement, the architect will design a software, but somehow at some stage we cannot implement it for usage. So like this, many aspects are there. To overcome this, we need different analysis methods that can be predictable whether the result is implementable or not. Also, the lack of awareness of the importance of architecture design to the software development. Many industries are not adopting still this software architecture style because they are not aware the importance of this. What is the importance of software architecture? The main importance is we can minimize the big and complex structure into a smaller and simple structure. That is the advantage of using the software architecture. And next limitation of the software architecture is understanding of the role of software architect and poor communication among the stakeholders. Whatever the stakeholders are expecting from the architect, or whatever the architect can implement according to his knowledge and expertise in a domain, there is a miscommunication, there is a lack of miscommunication, or else you can call it as a poor communication among the stakeholders. And next is lack of understanding of the design process, design experience and evaluation of design. These are the currently that is we are facing limitations to use software architecture successfully. And next we'll brief about the role of a software architect. That is, a software architect provides a solution that a technical team can create and design for the entire application. What is the role of software architect? The architect will take the requirements from the different stakeholder view, and using a different tools and expert team, the architect should provide a solution that meets the technical and operational requirements. In order to implement the entire application, this is a essential role of a software architect. And the software architect should have expertise in the following areas. He must be expertise in a design, that is expert in a software design, including diverse methods, approaches such as object-oriented design and event-driven design, etc. In the object-oriented design, we will be studying the different architectural patterns and communication models there. And next, the design expert must be expert in the development. That is, he must lead the development team and coordinate the development efforts for the integrity of the system. And next, he should be able to review the design proposals and trade off among themselves. These are the different kinds of that is criteria as the software architect must have in the design expertise. And next comes the domain expertise. Expert on the system being developed and planned for a software evaluation, assist in the requirement investigation process, as well as the architect must assure the completeness and consistency of the software. And next, coordinate the definition of domain model for system being developed. These are the different aspects that one must know as a domain expert. And next is technology expertise. Day by day, the technology is being changed, and we need a technology expert in order to design a software architect. And expert on available technologies that help the implementation of the system, and the technology experts must coordinate the selection of programming language, framework, platforms, databases, expert, okay, etc. Because nowadays we are having different that is kinds of programming languages, and all programming languages are popular, and they have their own specification and demand in their own domain, as well as different frameworks are available, and different platforms, different types of operating system and different versions are available. And we have the expert, the technology expert also must expertise in order to deal with the different databases. Means he or she must able to choose the type of the database that is suitable to develop a software architecture. Next, another kind of domain expertise we require is methodological expertise, where the expert on the software development methodologies that may be adopted during the software development life cycle. That is, in the software development life cycle, mainly we will study the reverse engineering and waterfall model and top-down model and bottom-up model. Which methodology to be used in order to develop a software? If you use reverse engineering or the bottom-up approach or a top-up approach for a particular software, which is more suitable? There are some kind of software developments where we must and should use only the waterfall model. We cannot start it from the bottom up. So all these aspects should be known by the expert. That is this kind of expertism is called as a methodological expertise. And this methodological expertise must able to choose the appropriate approaches for the development that helps the entire team. Next, another hidden role of a software architect. The hidden role of a software architect facilitates the technical work among team members and reinforcing the trust relations in the team. And information specialist who shares the knowledge and has a vast experience, protect team members from the external forces that would distract them and bring less value to the project. Another kind of expertism we require is deliverable of the architect, a clear, complete, consistent and achievable set of functional goals to be decided. Without the clear and complete goals, we cannot proceed further. Without defining the prior objectives and the type of the platform to be used, and the type of the programming language, and the type of the test cases, and the type of the framework, without finitely defining, clearly defining these aspects, we cannot move further. So, the architect must be clear about these things. The functional description of the system with at least 2 layers of decomposition. Functional description means yesterday we discussed how to implement and what to implement during the software architecture, and the concept of the system, the design in the form of system, at least 2 layers of decomposition, notion of the timing, operator attributes, and implementation and operation plans. Apart from this, they have to maintain a document that could be helpful during the entire process. This is about that is one who works or acts as a software architecture. He or she must be expert in all the domains what I have discussed. Next is quality attributes. Without a quality, we cannot use anything, or we cannot sell anything. So quality attributes plays a major role during the development of the software architecture. So we can define quality is a measure of excellence or the state of being free from deficiencies or the defects. Quality means it should be being free from deficiencies and defects, or else you can say drawbacks or any kind of faults the software should be free from. The quality attributes are the system properties that are separated from the functionality of the system. That is, system properties are different and functionalities of the systems are different. These are the quality attributes are under term we can call it as a system properties. Quality is a system property, and implementing a quality attributes make it easier to differentiate good system from the bad one. Before implementing the software architecture, we need to decide what kind of quality attributes to be added to that particular system. And we can classify the quality attributes as follows. The one is a static and another one is a dynamic. Here the static means there are some qualities while designing a software system. These are the basic one, that is privacy and security. These are the basic qualities along with the maintainability. Apart from this, along with the how the technology evolved and how it changing day by day, there are some quality attributes we have to add on time, and these are called as a dynamic quality attributes. In detail, you can see the static quality attributes reflect the structure of the system and organization directly related to the architecture, design and source code, and they are invisible to the end user but affect the development and maintenance cost. Example, it may be modularity and testability, maintainability, privacy, security, reliability. And under the classification of this attributes is dynamic attributes. It reflects the behavior of the system during its execution. Also, these are directly related to the system architecture as well as design, source code, configuration, deployment parameters as well as environment and platform. What is a source code, on which using which language the code should be written, and what should be the configuration, the particular the set of programs to be run on which configuration, what is the size of the hard disk there, what is the processing speed, that is processing speed is required, read only memory and random access memory. Like this, many aspects we need to consider, that is the configuration, and deployment parameters we need to check. This is about dynamic quality attributes, and these are visible to the end user. The static quality attributes, they cannot be visible to the end user because we cannot show the how and the way we implement the privacy and security, how will we maintain the software, we cannot show to the end user. But these kind of aspects that comes under the dynamic quality attributes, that is the system architecture. We can show the blueprint to the stakeholders as well as design, the source code sometime, and a configuration required because we need to launch into the market, and on which configuration the particular software product is suitable. We need to specify this, and deployment parameters on which how we will deploy the software. These kind of attributes comes under dynamic quality attributes. And I will stop here. Next we will continue with the quality scenarios, and I will complete the video. Quality scenarios means how to prevent the fault from becoming a failure. When we are developing some system, there is a chances of system failure. It may be a hardware system, from the hardware end, or from the software or environmental problem, and they can be divided into 6 parts based on their attribute specification. The first part we can classify it as a source, and next, second one is the stimulus, environment, artifact, response, and response measure. The source means it is an internal or external entity such as a people. Peoples are the source, one who use the architecture